Okay. Look this way, Harry. This way, he cried. Cried what?
shrilly,
He cried surely. Who's that? Said Fred. No idea, Harry lied, putting on a spurt of speed that took him as far away as possible from Colin. What's going on? Said Wood, frowning. I guess. Yeah.
frown,
Frowning as he skimmed through the air toward them.
skim,
Why is that first year taking pictures? I don't like it. It could be the sensory spy trying to find out about our new training program. He's in Gryffindor, said Harry quickly. Sensory don't need a spy, Oliver, said George. What makes you say that? Said Wood testily. Because they are here in person, said George, pointing. Several people in green robes were walking onto the field, broomsticks in their hands. I don't believe it, Wood hissed in outrage. I booked the field for today. We'll see about it. Wood shot toward the ground, landing rather harder than he meant to in his anger. Staggering. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god,
staggering,
Staggering slightly as he dismounted. What does that mean? Oh,
dismount,
dismounted. Harry, Fred, and George followed. Flint would bellowed at the sensory captain. This is our practice time. We got up specifically. Wait, specially. We got up specially. You can clear off now. Marcus Flint was even larger than Wood. He had a look of trollish cunning on his face as he replied.
cunning,
Plenty of room for all of us, Wood. Angelina, Alicia, and Katie had come over too. There were no girls on the sister team who stood shoulder to shoulder, facing the Gryffindors, leering to the men.
leer,
Leering to the men. But I booked the field, said Wood, positively spitted with red. I booked it.
spit,
Ah, said Flint, but I've got a specially signed note here from Professor Snape. Professor S. What's that? Professor Snape. Give the sensory team permission to practice today on the Quidditch field owing to the need to train their new seeker. You've got a new seeker, said Wood, distracted. Where? And from behind the six large figures before them came a seventh, a smaller boy, smirking all over his pale, pointed face. It was Draco Malfoy. Aren't you look, looking at Malfoy's son? Said Fred, looking at Malfoy with dislike. Funny you should mention Draco's father, said Flint as the whole sensory team smiled still more broadly. Let me show you the generous gift he'd made to his sensory team. All seven of them held out their broomsticks, seven highly polished,
polished,
polished, brand new handles, and seven sets of fine gold lettering bearing the words Nimbus 2001 gleamed under the Gryffindor's noses in the early morning sun. Very latest model only came out last month, said Flint curiously, flicking the spec.
Spec.
Flicking the speck of dust from the end of his wall. I believe it outspreads the old 2000 series by a considerable amount.
Outstrip.
Outstrip. As for the old clean sweeps, he smiled nasally at Fred and George, who were both clutching clean sweep pipes. Sweep the board with them. None of the Greenfellow team could think of anything to say for a moment. Malfoy was smirking so broadly his cold eyes were reduced to slits.
Slit.
Slits. Oh, look, said Flint, a field evasion. Ron and Hermione were crossing the grass to see what was going on. What's happening, Ron? Asked Harry. Why are you playing? And what's he doing here? He was looking at Malfoy, taking in his dancing Quidditch robes. I'm the new Sinister Seeker, Wesley, said Malfoy, smugly.
Smugly.
Everyone's just been admiring my father's brought our team, Ron gasped, open-mouthed, and the 7 superb broomsticks in front of him. Good, Henley, said Malfoy smoothly. But perhaps the Gryffindor team will be able to raise some gold and get new brooms too. You could raffle off those clean sweeps vibes. I expect a museum would bid for them.
Raffle.
The sensory team howled with laughter. At least no one on the Gryffindor team had to buy their way in, said Hermione sharply. They got in on pure talent. The smug look on Malfoy's face flickered. No one asks your opinion, you flimsy little mudblood.
Filthy.
Wow, you filthy little mudblood. He's bad. Damn, that's crazy, man. What the fuck?
Spat.
Harry knew at once that Malfoy had said something really bad because there was an instant uproar at his words. Flint had to dive in front of Malfoy to stop Fred and George jumping on him. Alicia, Alicia, is that Alicia or Alika? I am fucking no. Okay. Wait. Just wait a minute. I'm gonna.
Alicia.
Alicia.
Shriek.
Alicia shrieked. How dare you? And Ron plunked his hand into his robes, pulled out his wand, yelling, "You'll pay for that one, Malfoy," and pointed it furiously on Flint's arm and Malfoy's face. A loud bang echoed around the stadium, and a jet of green light shot out of the wrong end of Ron's wand, hitting him in the stomach and sending him reeling backward onto the grass. Ron, are you alright? Squealed Hermione. Ron opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. Instead, he gave an almighty
Almighty. belch,
almighty belch, and several slugs.
slug,
The fuck?
dribble,
Dribble out of his mouth until his lap.
lap,
The sensory team were paralyzed with laughter. Flint was doubled up, hanging out his new broomstick for support. Melvin was on all fours, banging the ground with his fist. The Gryffindors were gathering around Ron, who kept planching large, glistening slugs.
glisten,
The fuck, glistening slugs. Nobody seems to want to touch him. We better get into Hogwarts. It's nearest, said Harry to Hermione, who nodded briefly, and the pair of them pulled Ron up by the arms. What happened, Harry? What happened? Is he ill? But you can cure him, can you? Colin had run down from his seat and was now dancing alongside them as they left the field. Ron gave a huge heave, and more lungs trickled down his front. Oh, said Colin, fascinated and raising his camera. Can you hold him still, Harry? Get out of the way, Colin, said Harry angrily. He and Hermione sprawled Ron out of the stadium and across the grounds toward the edge of the forest. Nearly there, Ron, said Hermione, and the gamekeeper's cabin came into view.
cabin,
You will be alright in a minute, almost there. They were within 20 feet of Hagrid's house when the front door opened, but it was Hagrid who emerged, Gregory Lockhart, wearing robes of palest
mauve,
mauve today, came straight out.
stride,
Quick, behind you, Harry hissed, dragging Ron behind a nearby bush. Hermione followed, somewhat what?
reluctantly,
Somewhat reluctantly. It's a simple matter if you know what you're doing, Lockhart was saying loudly to Harry. If you need help, you know where I am. I don't think you have a copy of my book. I'm surprised you haven't already got one. I'll sign one tonight and send it over. Well, goodbye. And he drove away toward the castle. Harry waited until Lockhart was out of sight, then pulled Ron out of the bush and up to Hagrid's front door. They knocked urgently. Hagrid appeared at once, looking very grumpy, but his expression brightened when he saw who it was. Been wondering when you would come to see me. Coming. Thought you might have been Professor Lockhart back again. Harry and Hermione sprouted around
threshold,
over the threshold into the one-roomed cabin, which had an enormous bed in one corner, a fire crackling merrily, right?
merrily,
Merrily in the door, or any other. Hagrid didn't seem what?
perturbed,
Didn't seem Hagrid didn't seem perturbed by Ron's log problem, which Harry hastily explained as he lowered Ron into a chair. Better out them in, he said cheerfully, plugging a large copper basin in front of him. Get up, all up, Ron. I don't think there's anything to do except wait for it to stop, said Hermione anxiously. watching Ron bend over the basin.
basin,
Basin. That's a difficult curse to work at the best of times, but with a broken wand. Hagrid was bustling around making them tea. His broad hood, hood, Brian. Oh my god, not like broad hood. Huh. Finn was slobbering over Harry. What a locker on with you, Hagrid? Harry asked, scratching Finn's ears. Giving me advice on getting what the fuck is this? Wow, how to pronounce that, man? How to? I need to know how to pronounce that shit. Okay, Gabby. What the? Out of the whale, groaned Hagrid, moving a half-plunked roaster of his scrumboat. Scrumboat.
scrub,
Oh, scrumboat. Scrumboat. To rub something hard in order to clean it. Okay. And sitting down the teapot, like I don't know, and banging on about some banishing he banished. If one word of it was true, I would eat my kiddo.
kettle,
Kiddo. Okay. It was most unlike Harry to criticize a Hogwarts teacher, and Harry looked at him in surprise. Hermione, however, said in a voice somewhat higher than usual, I think you are being a bit unfair. Professor Dumbledore obviously thought he was the best man for the job. He was the un what man for the job. What's that? What is that? What is only what? I don't know. I don't know. Said Hagrid, offering them a plate of
treacle,
treacle toffee. Whereon coughed, squealed. Oh my god. Squeal, squeal.
squelchy,
Squealed into his basin. I mean, only one. Getting very difficult to find anyone for the dog arms job. People aren't too need to take it on, see? They are starting to think it's jinxed. No one's lasted long for a while now. So tell me, said Hagrid, jerking his head at Ron. Who was he trying to curse? Malfoy called Hermione something. It must have been really bad because everyone went wild. It was bad, said Ron.
hoarsely,
Said Ron hoarsely, emerging over the table top, looking pale and sweaty. Malfoy called her mudblood, Hagrid. Ron dived out of sight again as a fresh wave of slugs made their appearance. Harry looked outraged. He didn't, he groaned at Hermione.
Growl.
He growled at Hermione. He did, she said, but I don't know what it means. I could tell it was really rude, of course. It's about the most insulting thing he could think of, gasped Ron, coming back up. What plus a really full name for someone who is macabre, you know, non-magic parents. There are some wizards, like Malfoy family, who think they are better than everyone else because they are what people call pure blood. He gave a small burp, and a single slug fell into his outstretched,
Outstretched.
outstretched land. He threw it into the basin and continued. I mean, the rest of us know it doesn't make any difference at all. Look at Neville Longbottom. He's pure blood and he can hardly stand a cauldron the right way up. And they haven't invented a spell our Hermione can do, said Harry proudly, making Hermione go a brilliant shade of what?
Magenta.
Magenta. It's a disgusting thing to call someone, said Ron, wiping his sweaty brow with a shaking hand. Dirty blood, see. Common blood is ridiculous. Most wizards these days are half-blood anyway. If we hadn't married muggles, we would be dead out. He reached and tugged out of sight again.
Wretch.
He raged and tugged out of sight again. Well, I don't blame you for trying to curse him, Ron, said Harry loudly over the thorns of more slugs hitting the basin. But maybe it was a good thing your wand backfired. Spectre looks Malfoy would come marching up to school if you cursed its son. At least you're not in trouble. Harry would have pointed out that trouble didn't come much worse than having slugs pouring out of your mouth, but he couldn't. Hagrid's
Treacle.
Hagrid's trickle toffee had
Cement.
cemented his jaws together. Harry, said Hagrid. What the f?
Abruptly.
Said Hagrid abruptly, as though struck by a sudden thought. Got a bone to pick with you. I've heard you've been giving out signed photos. How come I haven't get one? Favorites every wretches.
Wrench.
Wrenched his teeth apart. I have not been giving out signed photos, he said hotly. If Lockhart's still spreading that round. It's 20 minutes today, so yeah, I'm gonna rest right now.